Hello everybody, welcome to day 4. Today we are going over Sun Salutation A, and that'll have some forward folding and our downward facing dog. So if you know you like the block method and downward facing dog and in your forward folds, go ahead, grab your blocks, books, whatever props you need. I'm just gonna have my blanket handy just in case, and then also my pillow just because I like to sit on it. We do have a little bit of back bending today, and if you're worried about it, down below in the description, I linked my blog post to Cobra Pose that will go over a little bit more of the modifications. I'm not going to go over all of them today in class, but that is there for your use. If you have any questions, always let me know in the comments or reach out to me. And with that, we'll go ahead, get started, and I will see you on your mat. Alright, welcome to your mat. So today we're going over Sun Salutation A, and that's what we call a vinyasa in a lot of vinyasa classes. So it's a transition that we take in between poses. We're not going to be taking a lot of them today. We're just going to go over a little bit of the overview and how to come into a small back bend. So today we are actually going to start on our backs in Shavasana. So just get comfy. Again, if you like a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees, go ahead and grab it. And then in our Shavasana, we're going to take our arms out wide. I'm going to have my feet or my legs down on the mat. You can always have them bent, feet out wide, knock your knees together on the inside if that lower back is causing an issue. And we're just going to take a moment here. We're going to sigh it out real quick. So exhale wherever you're at in your breath cycle. Inhale, take a big, deep, full breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Again, just like that. Don't be afraid to make noise as we inhale through our nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Perfect. One more time. Last one. Inhaling. Big, deep, full breath. One more sip at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Conceal our lips and begin inhaling and exhaling out through our nose. We're just taking our observation inward for a moment and feeling our breath. So every inhale, you feel your breath glide past your nostrils, down your throat, and then maybe across your sternum and into your belly, ribs, or chest. On your next inhale, we'll sweep our arms above our head. They're still on the floor here. And we'll take our feet in. If you have a blanket or your knees bent, go ahead and take those feet to the floor, those legs to the floor just for a moment. We're going to take a big morning stretch. So when you're ready, exhale wherever you're at in your breath cycle. Inhale, maybe your heels lift off the ground, arms lift off the ground, toes and fingertips are reaching in equal and opposite directions. And exhale. Melt into your mat. One more time, just like that. Inhale, big, full, deep breath. Exhale, let it go. We'll bend our knees, bringing them into our chest here. Hands come on tops of our knees, and we'll just take a few knee circles. If you have your blanket, you can wrap your blanket around the outside of your knees or shins to give you a little bit more room. It'll just be an extension of your arms if you're using that blanket. Switch directions if you haven't already. And if you want to incorporate your breath, inhale as your knees pull away. And exhale as they pull into your chest. We'll come back through center, planting our feet on the ground, knees are bent. Hands come out again on the floor. Fingertips are just pointing kind of towards the end of our mat. And then we'll walk our feet out so they're about as wide as our mat and just begin to windshield wiper your legs very gently. You might notice that one hip is tighter than the other. It's okay to lift those hips up off the ground if you need to. Very gentle movement. Then we'll gently come back through center. You have an option if you'd like to roll to one side and press yourself up. You can, or you can bring your knees to your chest and you can begin to rock and roll on your spine if you so choose. Taking it extra few if it feels good on your back, and then we'll make our way to our Sukhasana or easy pose. Sitting on our blanket or our pillow, you can also have that blanket come right underneath your knees, sitting over your feet. You feel like your hips are a little bit tight today. Inhale, shoulders to our ears. Exhale, rolling back and down our back. We're just going to gently rock our chin to our chest, left ear to left shoulder. Hold it for a moment. Maybe turn our head down just a little bit. And then gently rock that chin over left or right ear to right shoulder. And then again, if you want to take your gaze down just a little bit, you might feel a deeper stretch down the back side, back left side of your neck. A little dyslexic here today. And then same thing, one last time, left ear to left shoulder. Pause and breathe. And then chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder, pause and breathe. Inhale, come back through center. We're just going to work on these shoulders a little bit. Well, inhale, arms reach up overhead, and then exhale, cactus open your arms. So you want those elbows to be about at shoulder height. We're going to inhale, lift our chest to the sky, opening up our elbows as far back as they can go, and then exhale, pull them in, belly button to spine, elbows and forearms and palms come to touch. Inhale, lift up nice and tall, chest is shining towards the ceiling, elbows opening wide. Exhale, pull it in, belly button to spine, forearms and palms touch. Inhale again. Big, deep, full breath, and then exhale. You can do this in through your nose, out through your mouth, whatever feels best to you. Inhaling again. Exhale. Again, just like that. Inhaling. Exhale, pull it in, belly button to spine. Inhale, come back through center. Fingertips come to the floor, or maybe even your blocks here if you'd like. You can rest their palms on, or the heels of your hands on the blocks. Or you can take those fingertips to the ground. We're going to slouch down, so our shoulders are to our ears, and then we're going to inhale, press through our fingertips, our palms, and lift our chest towards the sky. Shoulders are pulling back and down. Pause here and breathe, stretching that front side body and lifting up out of your hips. Chin is still on the horizon. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Take another deep inhale here. And then exhale, relax. So we're coming back down through center. So this is almost the motion that we'll be making on the ground. Here, stretching out that front side body and getting a small back bend. So again, bringing our hands to the side. They're just about at our hip level. We'll take a little like shrug down. So our spine is rounding forward, belly button is pulled in, shoulders are to my ears. So this is not a very nice pose. And then we're gonna inhale, expand, puff your chest out, pull your shoulders away from your ears. Chin is slightly lifted around the horizon. Breathe and pause. Feel the stretch down your front side body, and then also those back muscles working to push and pull your chest up towards the sky. And then exhale, relax back down through center. One more time if you want to get really exaggerated with it again in that rounded spine here. Shoulders come to our ears. Exhale, and then inhale. Press and lift your chest towards the sky. And breathe. Abdominals are working here. Shoulders are pulling down and away from your ears. Chin is slightly lifted. And then gently relax, coming back through center. We'll take a quick, easy twist here. Inhale, arms reach up over our head. Exhale, gently twist to the right, left hand to the top of our right knee, right hand behind us. Gently just gazing to the right. You don't have to take your gaze over your shoulder. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Top of your head is trying to touch the ceiling. And then exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper, but don't crank that back. Inhale, arms reach up through center. And then exhale, twist right hand to our left knee, left hand behind us. Again, just gazing to the left here. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, top of your head reaching to the sky. And then exhale, maybe you gently twist a little bit deeper. Again, not trying to crank that back here. Inhale, come back through center, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands will come down by our side. We'll kick our legs out in front of us, give them a nice little wiggle, shake. Roll your ankles out, open and close your toes. And then we'll sweep our feet to either side. You know where we're going, our tabletop. And if you'd like to take that blanket or block underneath there, or blanket or pillow underneath there, you can. We'll just shift our hips from side to side. Then our wrists are underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips. Take a few cat-cows here. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, hips lift. Exhale, belly button towards our spine. Press firmly through those hands as your shoulders broaden. Eyes can be open or closed here. And taking any organic movement that you'd like. One more round of breath here. Next inhale, we'll all come back through center. Belly is pulled in. We're going to take this into our first downward facing dog of the day. So set up where you would like if you want those blocks underneath your hands. Or again, you always can stay in this tabletop position. So set up for your downward facing dog. Walk that one hand's length in front of where your hands were in tabletop. We'll tuck our toes here. Take a big, deep inhale breath. And then exhale, press firmly through those toes and hands. Lift your knees up off the mat. Hips are reaching towards the sky. And then heels are trying to reach the earth. Again, all 10 toes are facing forward. You can't see those heels. Shoulders are pulling away from your ears and down your back. Pressing firmly through all your fingers, knuckles, and palms. You're not dumping your weight forward here in your downward facing dog. So our downward facing dog, sometimes we get stuck in this like little short one, or maybe we're too far back and you feel like you're slipping. So if you remember that your feet aren't glued to the mat, so find what feels comfortable here. Again, your heels don't have to be reaching towards the floor. I always like to say it's about one leg's length. So you're one leg's length long in your downward facing dog, from your wrists to your toes. Maybe I just have really short legs though. All right, you can begin to pedal out your dog if you haven't done so already. Again, at any point in time, if something becomes too strenuous or you'd like to take a break, you can always come down into child's pose or shavasana. This is your practice. You decorate it how you wish. If you're pedaling out your feet, you can shake your head yes, shake your head no, release any tension in your neck. And then we'll find a little bit of stillness here. Bend your knees, send those hips high to the sky as your spine lengthens. We'll inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward as you gently step to the walk to the top of your mat. Hands might lift up off the mat here in our forward fold. We'll inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come down by our side. So from here, again, reestablishing our Tadasana mountain pose. Feet are hip width distance. We're going to lift up all 10 toes, spread them wide, and then set them firmly onto the mat. Again, kneecaps are lifted, thighs are engaged, and that belly is pulling in. Shoulders to our ears and roll them back and down. Hands will come to our side, palms face forward. Chin on the horizon, gazes straight ahead. Every inhale, you lift a little bit higher up out of those hips, trying to touch your head to the ceiling. Breathe and find some stillness here. Eyes can be opened or closed. And then we're going to find our center point. Again, shifting your weight forward, gently back, side to side, very slowly. Eyes can be opened if you feel like your balance is not that great today. My eyes are open here. And then when you found your center point, so your hips over your heels, shoulders over your hips, pause. Re-engage those thighs, pull the core in. We'll inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands will come behind our back, like we're sticking them in some pockets. Inhale, shoulders to your ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, press your hips forward, gently come back. You can keep your chin tucked to your chest or drop it back, your choice. Just keeping that core tight, not losing any integrity in our low back. Inhale, come back through center. We'll gently take those hands by our side. So this is the beginning of our Sun Salutation A, starting in mountain pose, and we'll be ending in mountain pose as well. So when you're ready, we're not going to really take this one breath per movement. We haven't really gone over our core breath work yet. So we're going to move slowly, and then at any point in time, you can always come down to the mat. So when you're ready, inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, gently forward fold, leading with your heart. Continuing to breathe here. Again, deep bend in your knees if you need it today. And then we're going to take this into an inhale, halfway lift. Hands will slide up our shins here, still breathing. And we want one long spine. So yesterday when we took that weight into our forward fold, we want to do the same thing here, taking the weight into the balls of our feet so our hips are stacked right over our heels. And our spine is straight. You can even bring your hands to your thighs here, fingertips turning in, elbows pointing out. Breathe and feel the pose. Take another deep inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold into your complete forward fold. You can stay here just for a moment. You want to grab opposite elbows here. You can take your feet out a little bit wider. So we'll gently come back through center. Heel toe those feet back to hip width distance. We're going to bend our knees deeply here so we implant our hands on the ground, and then we'll gently step back. We would take this into a high plank, but we're just going to take it into a tabletop position here. Take a deep inhale at the top, and then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Beautiful. So on our belly here, let's try to get those legs back behind us as far as they can. So lifting and shifting from one side to the other, trying to reach your toes to the bottom of your mat. So a lot of times people will cue with your hands right underneath your shoulders, but this is very uncomfortable for me, and I've seen it in a lot of other people who have tight shoulders. So I like to slide those heels of my hands back towards my lower ribs here. So we're coming into our first cobra pose. And a lot of times we like to have our elbows out wide, but we want those elbows pulled right in next to our side. Our forehead is resting on our mat here. And then the tops of our feet are pressed firmly into the mat. Just like in Tadasana, we want to pull those kneecaps up towards our thighs so our legs are engaged. Exhale wherever you're at. And then we'll inhale, begin to lift your head, neck, and chest, pressing into your hands here. Not too hard, just very light. And then gaze comes about 3 inches above your mat. Stay here and breathe. Don't hold your breath. Elbows are glued next to your sides. Shoulders are pulled away from your ears. Take another deep inhale. And then exhale, gently bring your forehead to your mat. We'll take that one more time here. Option to bring your forearms to the mat for a, would technically be Sphinx pose, but this can also be used as a modification. So I'll take this modification today. Exhale wherever you're at in your breath cycle. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift up, head, neck, and chest. Gently gazing forward, fingertips are spread wide. And if you're in that traditional cobra pose, tops of the feet pressed firmly into the mat and those elbows squeezing in. Breathe here, don't hold your breath. Gaze remains down onto the floor. Take another deep inhale. And then exhale, bring that forehead down to the mat. We're going to take our hands down by our side. Take our gaze to the left side, right ear comes to the mat. And then we're going to bend our knees. Then we'll gently windshield wiper our legs to release any tension in our low back. So we're still in the middle of our Sun Salutation A here. We're just taking it one step at a time. We'll come back through center. Forehead is on the mat. And then we'll gently take our gaze to the right just to even out that side of our neck. You can always windshield wipe your legs or rock your hips if you need to release any more tension. Inhale, forehead comes back to our mat, and then we're going to bring our hands right underneath our shoulders this time. We'll tuck our toes, press ourselves up on an inhale, bending our knees, coming through our tabletop position. You want to reset up in your tabletop. And then from here, taking it into our downward facing dog. So preparing whatever you'd like your downward facing dog to look like and feel like. We'll tuck our toes, take a deep, deep inhale breath. Exhale, lift those knees, press your hips high to the sky. Find that downward facing dog. We'll take one breath together here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, H-A-ha. Beautiful. We'll inhale, come high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Gently walk to the top of your mat, making your way into your forward fold. From here, inhale again, halfway lift. Hands slide up your shins. And so you're looking like a little tabletop here, little edge table. Again, breathing, don't hold your breath here. Bring your weight to the balls of your feet. Hips are right over your ankles and gaze straight down at the floor. Your spine is long here, one long line of energy. Breathe. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come down by our side. And that was our Sun Salutation A. So we're going to take this one more time a little bit quicker here. So preparing. Standing up nice and tall, kneecaps are lifted, thighs are engaged, core is pulled in, shoulders rolling down your back. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from those hips. Taking us into our halfway lift. As you inhale, hands glide up your shins here, flat back, weight is in your balls of your feet. Breathe. Exhale, forward fold. We'll plant our hands, deep bend in our knees, step back, taking your knees down to the earth, coming in through our tabletop position. We'll set up here, take a deep inhale at the top, and then exhale, come all the way down to your belly. Setting up for your cobra pose. Slide those hands, the heels of your hands by your low ribs. Pull those elbows in and shoulders back away from your ears. Tops of your feet are on the mat. Toes are pointing behind you. Exhale wherever you're at in your breath cycle. Next inhale, we'll lift our head, neck, and chest off the mat. Hold and breathe. Gazing down at the floor, about 2 inches in front of our mat. Next exhale, gently come down, forehead to the mat. We'll tuck our toes here. Inhale, breath takes us through our tabletop. Pause, set up for your downward facing dog, still breathing. Next inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, press through your hands and toes, lifting your heels up off, your knees up off the mat. Hips are sitting high to the sky. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Always option again, coming into this tabletop down dog. That's totally fine. And then when you're ready, inhale, come high up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees deep, gaze forward. Gently walk to the top of your mat. It's okay if your hands lift up. Pause and breathe. Inhale, halfway lift, hands slide up your shins. Shoulders pull away from your ears, gaze down at the floor. Breathe, weight comes into the balls of your feet. Another deep inhale here. Next exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, come down by your side. Beautiful. So that was a little bit quicker. So normally in vinyasa, we take it 1 breath per movement, but we'll slowly build our way up to 1 breath per movement in later classes. Before we do that, we will go over breath work and exploring our oceanic breath or our ujjayi breath, which will be, I believe, tomorrow. So with that, we'll take this down to the mat, coming into our shavasana and thanking ourselves for our practice. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Again, reset your spine. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step back, take your knees on down towards the mat. We'll press our hips back towards our heels as we sit back, hero's pose. Again, if you want to roll out your wrists, take a little bit of movement here. You can take some neck circles. Thank your wrists for their hard work today. And then we'll gently sweep our feet from either side, coming onto our buns here. And then when you're ready, hands come out in front of us as we slowly lower all the way down to our back. We'll take those knees into our chest one last time if you want to take any knee circles. Giving your sacrum a nice little massage. Switch directions. You can pull them in here. And then we'll kick our legs up to the sky. A little bit of a legs up the wall. Toes can flex back towards our face as our heels are trying to push into the ceiling above us. Breathe and reconnect with the earth beneath you. Gently bend our knees and then bring the soles of our feet to the mat, finding your way into your Shavasana. Take one last big, deep, full breath together. So exhale wherever you're at in your breath cycle. Take a big, deep inhale. Exhale, release it out. Letting go of any breath work that you were doing. Gently just observing the surroundings and the earth beneath you, holding yourself up, allowing yourself to relax down into your mat as your jaw softens, tongue pulls away from the roof of your mouth. Unwrinkling your eyebrows. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Go ahead and pause the video now. I'd like to thank you all so much for flowing with me today for class 4, and I will see you again tomorrow for class 5. Thanks for coming and namaste.